The college football experience, Jacksonville State Gamecocks 2023 season preview episode on the Sports Gambling Podcast Networks, brought to you by Circa Sports. Yes, Circa Sports is back with their Circa Survivor and Circa Millions contest. $14 million are up for grabs. Get all the details at circasports.com. And remember, as always, folks, to let it ride.
This is Randy Cross. You're listening to SGPN. Let it ride.
Yes, yes, yes. Woo! Welcome. Welcome to the college football experience, Jacksonville State Gamecocks 2023 season preview episode. You know I'm excited to talk a little Gamecock football. I see this might be the real Gamecocks.
It might be. I mean, the other Gamecocks, same region of the country in that southeast. You know, I do believe that, maybe there's a chance they meet in a bowl game at some point in the near future.
Oh, they meet on the schedule this year, buddy.
Oh, that's right. That's right. I'm looking at last year's.
Who's asleep at the wheel?
I thought I remembered that, but I was looking at last year's as I was saying that, and I was like, yeah, they're not on there. But yes, they are on there this year.
They are. We're going to talk all about it. Perhaps you're wondering just who the hell you're listening to. Well, my name is Colby Swinging Database Dan, a.k.a. Pick Dundee. That's not a pick. This is a pick.
He was raised in the land down under, where a man thinks on his feet, speaks with his fists, and lives by his wits.
When Dundee happened, he was a superstar.
I smoke and I drink and I don't have stress and I'm healthy.
I'm dying in this fucking country ass fucked up town. Shit flying in my mouth. The fuck? I can't see pollen. Let's get the fuck out of this country, mother.
A lot of teams are going to be saying that they're going down to Jacksonville, Alabama to take those L's, I think, Patty C.
Yeah, could be. A lot of teams have been doing that.
Ask Florida State what happened the last time they put Jacksonville State on the schedule. L. 2 years ago.
That's right.
Ask Ole Miss what happened the last time they put Jacksonville State on the schedule. L. All right. They got pedigree.
Those aren't small-time
They
programs.
should have beat Auburn one of those years, too. Folks, I'm excited. I'm joined by my co-host. Give it up for former JMU Duke defensive back, the burrito eating, sideline kiss stealing, wheeling and dealing, Patty C in the place to be.
Hi-oh. Well,
another Alabama school. What's not to like? Alabama's a football state, baby.
They are winning football state.
Let's go.
What? UAB, what was their record last year? 12-2 or something?
No, 2 years ago.
2 years ago. South Alabama, 10-3 last year.
Troy
was 12-2 last year.
Yeah.
Alabama's Alabama.
And Auburn had a losing record.
Auburn's been having a tough time, but they're going to come back.
Yeah. But what do we got here? We got a Patty C. This is long overdue. This team's been very good in the FCS ranks, for quite some time, really, man. I know you are a Rich Rodriguez fan.
I am a big Rich Rod fan. I think that if he had had more time at Michigan, they would have continued to improve, and they might be a different team now. In fact, I guarantee you they would. They'd be a very, very who knows if he would still be there, but they would have had some great years. Either way, did a great job at Arizona and did a great job at Monroe the 1 year he was there.
Yeah.
And now he's doing a great job at South Alabama at Jacksonville State.
Yeah,
right?
definitely. And they won. Look, Jacksonville State, nice program. They won a natty in 1917 when they went 9-0, Patty C. Ben Harris was the coach then. Feel free to hit us up. We will deem you national champions.
Hello.
We know how this works. Just put it like this. We know how this works. All you need is a publication. We are a publication. They also, in 1947, went 9-0 again
This team's been playing ball for a long time.
Give him a natty there. That's another natty.
1904 was when they started playing
That's
ball.
what I'm talking about, buddy. You gotta love it, man. You gotta love it.
This might be one of the longest tenured FCS football playing programs out there, save for like the Ivy League.
1955, they might have won a natty. Dude, they've been a fucking blue blood. Go back and look. Every decade they have. They won a natty in 1970, went 10-0 under Charlie Pell. I mean, they honestly kicked ass, man. They have like double-digit win seasons every.
All they do
decade.
is win. Let's see. I mean, what, since 2003, so 20 years ago. In the last 20 years, they've only had, I believe, one losing season.
Yeah, pretty wild.
That's pretty good.
Pretty wild. So once again, you might be seeing. We saw this with Georgia Southern. They came up, won 9 games, right?
2 losing seasons.
Georgia Southern jumped up, won 9 games, right? They had a history of winning national championships in the FCS ranks and they went to the swamp and beat Florida without completing a pass. They pushed Georgia to overtime one of those years.
Yeah.
Right? You've seen Appalachian State success. They come right out, boom, they're beating Texas A&M. They're beating North Carolina and Michigan and shit. You saw James Madison last year do the same. Jacksonville State, I think, probably going to be on this list, right?
Yeah. And they're way under the radar because they haven't been winning FCS championships. And so, like you said, App State had been an FCS champion. JMU had been, and who was the other one you mentioned? Georgia Southern.
Southern had 5.
All of those had this championship pedigree in recent history, so they were all over everyone's radar. Jacksonville State not going to be on anyone's radar really nationally, I don't think.
But they have so many good.
But they're
seasons.
probably just as good as those teams.
It's gonna be fun. We're gonna talk all about it. We're gonna talk about Rich Rod, who just turned 60 back on May 24th. Patty C. You know what? I'm thinking something crazy here. They're not going to want to hear me say it, though. But look, folks, before we jump into the transfer portal, the offense, the defense, the special teams, and see how Jacksonville State will do in year 1 in the FBS, we're going to go game by game on the schedule, might I add. And, folks, you should be subscribed over on YouTube. You can watch this, youtube.com/The College Experience. Remember, this is the College Experience. But we also host the FCS College Football Experience. We also host the College Basketball Experience and the College Baseball Experience. We come together as one on YouTube, youtube.com/The College Experience. Check us out. But I also want to tell you that the Jacksonville State Gamecocks 2023 season preview episode is brought to you by Circa Sports. Yes, Circa Millions plus Circa Survivor are back. $14 million in guaranteed prizes are up for grabs. Circa Millions. Look, you pick 5 NFL picks ATS each week. All right, boom, done. Circa Survivor, you just pick a different moneyline winner each and every week. Can't play the same team twice. You enter in Las Vegas, play from anywhere. Sports Gambling Podcast will be out there. SGPN crew will be there last weekend in August. Once again, circasports.com for all the details. That's circasports.com. What would you do with $14 million, people? All right, I'd tell you, I'd be at Circa, betting my ass off and hanging out at Stadium Swim and hanging out with Derek Stevens. Shout out to Derek, great guy. So what would you do with $14 million? That's what you need to think about. All right, we are back on the College Football Experience Jacksonville State 2023 season preview episode. Patty C. We break down all these episodes based on the portal. This one's a little bit different because they are coming in from the FCS ranks, but we can still talk about it. All right. They lost wide receiver Ahmad Edwards. He transferred out. He's still in the portal. That's what's amazing is the guys that are in the portal, I don't think they've landed anywhere. Offensive tackle Charles Padgett, no relation to Scott. He is in the portal. Running back Patrick Johnson's in the portal. Offensive lineman Creighton Moonchow is in the portal. Cornerback Aaron McLaughlin in the portal. TJ Lockley at the wide receiver position. Linebacker Osiris Smith, portal. Offensive tackle Brevin Jones, portal. Safety Amon Scarborough. I wonder if there's any relation.
Told Bowie.
He's in the portal. Defensive lineman DJ Coleman is also in the portal. Incoming, though, Patty C, is running back Malik Jackson, who's penciled in to be the starting running back of this team. He comes over from Terry Bowden. And guess what? You know who used to coach with Terry Bowden? Rich Rodriguez.
There you go. He is a known quantity to the head coach.
I think he probably recruited this kid. Yeah. Brings him in from Texas where he went to high school. Then he brings in wide receiver Jamarye Joiner from Arizona. Guess who used to coach at Arizona? Rich Rodriguez. Do you think there might have been a connection there? I don't know, but Tucson, Arizona is where Joiner went to high school.
Stands to reason.
Then one of my favorite names of all in all of college football is safety coming over from the Maine Black Bears, Austin Ambush.
Oh, that's a great name.
Please. That safety
Especially
is perfect.
As a safety.
Yeah, it's perfect.
Amazing.
Also defensive end from ULM is Quay Drake coming in. Also cornerback Travis Collier from the Western Kentucky Hilltoppers coming in. And then quarterback Logan Smothers from the Nebraska Cornhuskers, Patty C.
Gotta like that.
Would you say they won the portal?
It sounds like it. I mean, being able to pilfer players from Louisiana Monroe, I don't know how much Bowden probably loves that, but Malik Jackson, good for 800 some odd yards, 860 yards over the last 2 years. That's a nice pickup, So you put that in and you combine it with what they got. Maybe that offense continues to move.
Yeah, and I can tell you this, man. I'm somewhat well, I'm not going to rattle off the offensive numbers, defensive numbers, because they were in the FCS a season ago. But Patty C, if you look back at a year ago, this team only lost 2 games. Now, they did get their ass whooped by the Tulsa Golden Hurricane. But we should note Tulsa had some very good players that got drafted or stolen in the portal that are starting elsewhere.
It's tough to dress that one up. They dominated the rest of their schedule. Some decent teams.
Davidson made the FCS playoffs. Stephen F. Austin was pretty solid, I feel like.
Southeast Louisiana, who their other loss was to, was decent, 9-4.
They made the playoffs.
Yeah,
Austin
won a
P.
playoff
They
game.
smacked Austin P. It was a decent team. They smacked Eastern Kentucky, was an FCS playoff team. So I think that, just the Tulsa game. That's the one.
Well, it's just the level of competition. I do think they're facing a massive jump. But their previous performances against Power 5 and high-level Power 5 teams, like you said, Florida State, and who was the other one?
Ole Miss. They
Ole
won
Miss.
in Oxford.
Yeah. That suggests that maybe they can compete with the big boys. And then I don't know. There's a lot to be, but I'm optimistic. I think the transition, you'll see some closer games. You won't see as many blowouts, but I still think they're going to come out on top of a lot of them.
And I mean, how, do you think from a coaching standpoint, they have a coach that, Patty C, he's 172 and 121. This guy has won everywhere he's been, basically. He's 9-2 in year one. That was his first year at Jacksonville State last year.
Yeah.
9-2. So maybe the system, they did play Tulsa in September. So this is a guy that, made a bowl game 4 out of 5 years. 5 out of 6 years in Arizona, and Arizona is not known to be going to bowl games. At Michigan, sure, he went 3-9 year one, 5-7 year two, but the final year they fired him, he was 7-6.
I mean, you think about Michigan too. He had Stephen Threet, like a fat white quarterback as this guy. Then year 2 at Michigan, Tate Forcier for probably the first few games of the year before figuring out Denard Robinson. Denard Robinson was super raw, and the offense started to go there.
He was a game away from the national championship. This is one of the greatest what ifs.
Yeah.
Because he was about to go to Alabama and leave West Virginia.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
But they had to play for the net. He couldn't leave the undefeated team.
Yeah.
Right?
He had to stick around to see if they were going to make the national championship.
Yeah. So they had to play Pitt still.
I wonder if that was a distraction from
this is hilarious.
The West
that's
Virginia
when they signed
game.
Saban.
Yeah. Well, yeah, they got
So
Saban.
He has this big impact on college football, let alone from him being a successful coach that almost played for the national championship. But everything was rerouted. History was rerouted.
The entirety of college football has been, by that moment.
Unbelievable. But he's won everywhere he's been. He won at West Virginia. His final 3 years at West Virginia, he had 3 double-digit win seasons. He won at Glenville State. Shout out to our friend Jerry Glanville. I don't know if that is any connection, but I feel like I feel like it's a very good coaching hire for this institution.
Yeah, the dude can coach offense, especially when he's got a speedster at quarterback, and it seems like he has that. So that offense will move. But do you think he's here for long, or do you think?
Well, that's the question. Neil Brown
Yeah.
is on very thin ice.
Yeah.
In Morgantown.
Some of the big boosters really want him back.
Well, and boosters have money. I saw West Virginia's NIL collective like top 10 right now in the country.
Yeah.
He played at West Virginia. I know it was an ugly divorce when he went to Michigan, but this is a guy that played there in 81, 82, 83, and 84, right?
Yeah.
He was a GA at West Virginia. He coached linebackers at West Virginia. 3 different stints, and then he was the head coach. I think West Virginia fans can forgive because he's one of their own, man. He's from Granttown, West Virginia.
Yeah, silly not to allow him another chance at it.
Yeah, I'm just saying, let's say he wins 8 or 9 games this year. I think they got to consider this. Like Jacksonville State fans got to consider the fact that he might leave.
Yeah.
And to me, I only think there's one P5 that would offer it.
West Virginia. I've always been an advocate of he and Bud Foster getting together just because I think they'd be dynamite together. And Rich Rodriguez, the one downfall of his system had always been the defensive side of the ball. And last year being evidence, they didn't generate many turnovers, Bud Foster being a turnover creating machine. So I want that to happen, but I think Virginia Tech, Brent Pry has probably got at least one more year there. I think Virginia Tech would eventually consider him, even though he's, from the rival, but he had bought property in Blacksburg. So there was chatter the last time before Pry got hired that Rich Rodriguez was a name. So, but there are a few, and if he keeps winning, I think his name is going to gain a little more traction all over the country. But
I'm just saying for next year,
West Virginia, I agree, is probably one of the only places
for P5.
For P5,
you could talk me into Memphis hiring him.
Yeah, that's true.
You could talk me into some other schools hire him. If let's say Charles Huff goes to, because Charles Huff almost got hired away this past year. He interviewed.
Go to Marshall?
I think he would.
Oh, that'd be fun. That would be fun.
I think he would. Folks, look, I'm not going to spew off the numbers here because they were in the FCS last season. They weren't eligible for the FCS playoffs. It's hard to deduce a lot of stuff from that. But I will tell you this: Zion Webb is back for his 7th college football season. 7th, Patty. See, this is originally a Clemson recruit.
Yeah, where Rich Rodriguez has some history there as well.
Yeah, I mean,
how did he do last year? 647 rushing yards, passing wise, 1737, 10 touchdowns, 9 interceptions. Not amazing.
He can play though. I watched him a couple years ago against Florida State, and I was like, okay,
yeah,
okay. And they also have Logan Smothers, the Nebraska transfer. They also have a true freshman in Earl Woods. I know they're excited about. They also have a walk-on Ashton Fry that's in the mix too.
Little depth.
Running back position. Malik Jackson coming in from ULM is that guy. I know they were surprised, that they were able to pull him away from Terry Bowden. They also have Anwar Lewis, who's played some too.
818 yards last year. So maybe a little running back battle there.
I like the backfield, man. I like the backfield. Wide receivers, Sterling Galban is back. PJ Wells is back. And then they bring in the Arizona transfer, Jamarye Joiner. So I kind of like the wideouts. The tight end Sean Brown is back, Patty C.
Yeah.
And get this, 4 out of 5 on the offensive line are back, including Clay Webb, who transferred in from Georgia.
That's huge.
Yeah.
Continuity on the offensive line in a system where, like the read option, granted, it's not the most complicated system in the world, but again, it's like the triple option. It's one of those where the more simple it becomes, it becomes more about execution and precision and timing. And, if you are ahead of the defense, right, then they have to make these super quick decisions. Having experience is massive in this system.
And that right guard, Brock Roby, started. He was a transfer from Glenville State. So Rich Rod still got those ties to West Virginia.
Yeah.
I think the offense is going to be pretty good, buddy, especially if Zion Webb can stay healthy.
Well, you know what? I want to see these running backs a little more closely. I didn't get to watch much Jacksonville State last year, obviously. But, going back to his West Virginia days, it was Pat White and
Steve Slayton.
Yeah. When he had an elite game breaker at running back and at quarterback, that's when they were a national championship level team. And that's all it's ever really taken. At Michigan, all he had was Denard Robinson. They didn't have a game-breaking running back. At Arizona, all he had was who was the cute quarterback that
Khalil Tate?
Tate.
Yeah.
He was a game breaker quarterback, but they never had a game-breaking running back. You get him a true – that's the thing. That's why he's probably, I guess, not going to stay forever, is just because I don't know if you're going to be able to get that talent at Jacksonville State. But maybe they do have access to that talent, and we just don't know it yet.
Well, they returned the entire defensive line. That's good. And they also bring in Jeff Marks, a grad transfer from Purdue, right? Linebacker wise, I think this is where you circle a lot of unknowns here. Just one of three back. Jalen J-Rock Swain is their top guy, their only guy back, actually. They're going to be breaking in some new linebackers. Quade Drake came in the portal from ULM. He's projected to start. And then Larry Worth, the sophomore, is the other projected starter. So that's the big question mark there. The secondary, Colby Fuqua is back at the nickelback spot. Great name. Also, cornerback Jamarye Joiner is back, and your free safety Jeremiah Harris is back. They also have Fred Perry on that depth chart. So you're breaking in a strong safety in Yesman Green, and your other corner in Marco Baker. Patty C, the kicker, punter, they're back.
Again, they need to figure out a way to generate more turnovers. Like 8, no one had more than 2 interceptions on the team last year. I don't know if that's just playing conservative football on the defensive side and letting the
hear me out though. Because look, if I'm looking at last year's starters, I am seeing that they were starting 3 sophomores. Wait, so 3, 4, 5, 6. So they were starting 6 sophomores a year ago.
Okay.
Maybe that's just the difference right there. And maybe I'm being optimistic. I don't know, but I can tell you this. I trust Rich Rodriguez. I think he's a pretty damn good coach. Kind of thought he got a raw deal at Arizona, personally.
Yeah. I mean, he did a great job. He took him to the Peach Bowl.
Yeah.
Right?
Did a great job. They played the Pac-12 championship a couple years.
Did they get rolled in the Peach Bowl?
I think they did.
Boise rolled them,
I think
right?
they did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But maybe it was Ole Miss. I forget which one.
Either way, I'm kind of optimistic on this roster. I know there's a lot of unknowns, but year 2, let's look at Rich Rod's year 2s. Obviously he won 9 games in year 1, but once again, that was against the FCS. You look back at the other years that at Glenville State, he went from 1-7-1 in year 1 to 4-5-1. That was in 1990. At West Virginia, he went from 3-8 to 9-4. At Michigan, he went from 3-9 to 5-7. And at Arizona, year 1, he went 8-5. Year 2, he goes 8-5. So,
what do you do year 3?
Year 3, 10-4. Lost in the Fiesta Bowl.
So either way, improvement is coming.
Yeah,
it seems like. But how do you improve that much on 9-2? I guess if you translate 9-2 at the FCS level to what it typically would be at the FBS level, let's put him at 5-4. Maybe he makes them a 7-5 caliber, or 5-7 rather. They become a 7-5 caliber team.
We're going to go game by game on the schedule, but I think this roster is better than what I thought it was going to be before we did this.
Yeah, I mean, having a 7th-year quarterback,
always good.
Having a guy named J-Rock, that's his actual first name.
Yeah, great DJ too. But folks, look, before we get to going game by game on the Gamecocks schedule, I want to tell you that the College Football Experience Jacksonville State 2023 season preview episodes brought to you by Underdog Fantasy. Best Ball Mania is here, and Underdog Fantasy is giving away $15 million in prizes. Yes, Underdog Pick'em is a great way to get down on your favorite MLB and NFL season player props. They also have college football when that rolls around. There's so many ways to win over at Underdog, and Underdog's available in so many different states. Head on over to UnderdogFantasy.com. Use that promo code SGPN for 100% deposit bonus up to $100. It's UnderdogFantasy.com. Promo code SGPN. All right, we are back. Patty C, if you see this, if you're watching on YouTube right now, youtube.com/The College Experience, please, first off, go over to iTunes. Give us 5-star reviews. I mean, come on. We're going through 133 teams to do this shit every year. Get on over to iTunes. Give us some 5-star reviews. The least we can do. We're not trying to take your fucking money.
Come on, Gamecocks fans. We're rooting for you.
Let's go.
Give us some love.
But if you're watching on YouTube, shout out to our graphics guy, Cam Kerr. How do you see the win total sitting at 5? I can tell you, knowing that without looking at the schedule, I know they are joining the new CUSA. I think they can hit over 5.
Yeah.
I think they can hit over 5.
Yeah.
Let's dive into it, though, and let's get specific because week 1, Patty C, and this schedule is fun. It's a fun schedule. Week 0 is what I mean to say. The UTEP Miners and Dana Dimmel are coming into Jacksonville, Alabama. And I do like the fact he aligned this playing week 0, so he gets 2 bye weeks through the year.
Nice.
I think that's smart for jumping up to a new subdivision.
Yeah.
Patty C, I think they're better than UTEP, and I think they beat UTEP.
I would agree.
They're dogs currently, by the way. They are dogs in this game.
UTEP
currently.
was a 5-7 football team last year, so not a lot of respect being given to that 9-2 FCS record for Jacksonville State. I'm taking Jacksonville State at home.
Well, then the East Tennessee State Buccaneers come to town. Don't look now. East Tennessee State, not a bad FCS. Not a bad FCS.
3-8 last year. Not a great
brand new head coach, though.
Yeah.
Brand new head coach. The year before, they're in the playoffs.
Yeah.
But I'm taking Jacksonville State to get that one done against the Bucks.
2-0.
Hello. And I love this matchup. You got the Gamecocks against the Chanticleers. 2 fucking chickens going at it. You're going out to Brooks Stadium. One of my favorite non-con games of the season.
Yeah.
To see.
And we said Coastal is keeping the coordinator.
Yeah.
So
they got Grayson McCall.
Yeah.
I think they're going to run a lot of the same stuff.
We're going to see a fun offensive game here.
Jacksonville State at Coastal Carolina. This is a beautiful game.
This is
a beautiful football game.
I don't know what to expect, but I guess I got to lean Coastal here.
I think I got to lean Coastal too. But, man, I could see Jacksonville winning this
one. Easily. I mean, new coach pretty early in the season. That's what, week 2 for Coastal?
Yeah.
So
they could get him.
They could.
Give me Jacksonville State get it done.
I'm not going there. I think Coastal's been playing at
a
higher level of competition for much longer.
Okay, I'll switch back. Give me Coastal by a field goal.
Yeah.
Field goal. They get a bye week on Saturday, September 16th, and then they host my guy, Chris Creighton, and the Eastern Michigan Eagles.
This is a tough one to
it's
project.
A fun game, too. No, I think Jacksonville State's speed and talent is just better.
We'll get the better of them. I don't know. Eastern Michigan plays tough football week in, week out.
Beat Arizona State.
Are they going to
beat Minnesota?
Bog down this high-powered
I lean Jacksonville State.
I do too.
So 3-1.
Nice to get 3 home games in the first 4 weeks to start the season.
3-1, and then they head to Bowers Stadium in Huntsville, Texas. Take on Sam Houston State. This is fun. Thursday night.
There you go, Bearcats. Getting the Thursday night flavor going early into your they're both coming up from the FCS level at the same time here. So.
Yeah, this is fun. Did they play last year? I feel like they did, and I thought they got the best of them. No? Am I crazy?
No,
they didn't. Okay. I'm full of shit. Patty C, it's a sneaky road game.
Short week. 5 days between games.
Gosh, this is a tough game, dude. Give me Sam Houston. But
I almost feel like the short week here favors Jacksonville, just because that's a system that you can prepare for. And if you don't have much time to prepare for it, you might get sliced up.
Ooh, and Sam Houston is coming off of Houston.
I don't know. I'm taking the Gamecocks.
Fuck, I just feel like it's a 1-possession game. No, I'll stick pat.
All right. You got them at what? 4-2?
No, 3-2.
3-2.
3-2.
4-1.
Now they're going to Johnny Red Floyd Stadium on a Wednesday night to take on Stockstill, the NASCAR driver, Rick Stockstill. I think this is where he pulls the upset, gets it done.
It's are they 8-5 last year? Middle Tennessee beat the shit out of Miami. It's funny because Jacksonville State and JMU, who we just previewed, have similar composite talent rankings. Not that really means much, but I think if that's a good indication of what's going to happen, look what JMU did to Middle Tennessee last year. It could be Jacksonville State whooping the tar out of Middle Tennessee too. I'm leaning Jacksonville State, but that loss, it's getting closer.
Back to back away.
Yeah, it's getting closer.
That's why I think they go 1-1 in that stretch.
All right. I'll roll with you. So what do we got?
So 4-2.
4-2 through the first half of the season.
Now the Flamin' Libs, the Liberty Flames with Jamie Chadwell. See, I think it's year one. This is Tuesday, October 2nd.
I love how they play 5 straight weekday games here.
It's great. Who are you taking here?
Down in Jacksonville, Alabama.
They got this. It's year
Do
one
they?
for Chadwell.
Nah, they don't.
I'm taking it.
Liberty's more talented.
Taking Jacksonville State.
I'm going Liberty. 4-3 for me.
5-2 for me. The win total's 5, guys. Now the Hilltoppers of Western Kentucky come in there. They can fling the ball around.
They can move the rock.
I think I might take Western Kentucky here.
9-5 last year.
Yeah.
They beat the tar out of Middle Tennessee.
I'll take WK.
Took Indiana to overtime. Ugh. Do I really want to fade them this hard? No, I'm going upset. I'm a believer in
So we
Rich
still got them at the
Rodriguez.
same record there.
Yeah, 5-3, 5-3.
Now they head down to Ricardo Silva Stadium to take on the Panthers,
FIU.
the airport. Mike McIntyre.
This is a win. Is it?
They used to be on the same staff together.
Little
One was the DC, one was the OC.
Is that right?
Yep.
Where was that?
Ole Miss.
At Ole Miss.
Yeah.
Snap.
Give me Jacksonville State to get it done.
Yeah.
FIU got raided in the portal.
Yeah.
Back-to-back away here, though. Williams-Brice Stadium. Zion Webb, I believe, is from, if memory serves me correct. Well, I don't know. Maybe I'm full of shit. I know he was at Clemson one time. I'm just assuming he's from South Carolina. So, okay, he gets a chance to.
That's a good question.
He's probably from like Georgia, Florida, or Alabama, or
Phoenix City, Alabama.
Oh, there we go. Patty C, any chance they knock off the Gamecocks? Your boy Beamer Rodriguez, it's back. West Virginia, Virginia Tech.
Close to a great old rivalry here. But look, South Carolina coming off this stretch, Florida, at Missouri, and then at Texas A&M, and then finally we got through that tough stretch. We get this easy one against Jacksonville State. Wrong. Jacksonville State coming
upset.
off a long week, Wednesday to Saturday. Not an
It's true.
upset though. Not an upset.
Okay.
But closer. That Jacksonville State will cover.
So we got them at 6 wins, right? What do we have them at right now? So I got them at Florida International.
Yeah, 6 and
Liberty.
4.
So the over's already hitting for us, and they get their second bye week on November 11th. Now they're hosting La Tech Sunny Cumby. This is a win.
This
7-4.
is a win. 3-9 La Tech last year.
7-4.
Yeah.
And now they go all the way to Las Cruces, New Mexico, to take on Jerry Kill and the Aggies.
And upstart 7-6 Aggies last year.
Yeah, I got the Aggies winning this one.
Oh, maybe. They
Dude, but they could honestly, besides the South Carolina game, is any game just 100% losable? That's why I'm bullish on this over.
You gotta be. Look, the Aggies did play one FCS team last year. I don't even know if they're FBS. They might be Division II for all I know. Valpo?
No, they're FCS.
They're FCS. Yeah. They beat them 65-3. So New Mexico State, not afraid of FCS level competition, even though they have been that pretty much their whole existence.
Not since Jerry Kill walked through that door,
That's
buddy.
Right. Look,
this is a nice schedule. Hammer this over. I think
I feel like they're gonna win it. I feel like 8-5
is a lock,
or 8-4 is what they're gonna do. I'll say 7-5 to be conservative, but yeah, that's a lock.
This is a lock
That's a
over
lock.
5 wins. This you'll be hearing this on the lock episode in August. I'll put it like this.
Yep.
I feel very good about this. Let's fucking go. Look, he's on the over. I'm on the over. Before we get out of here, I got a chance to sit down with Michael Barker, aka College Football Campus Tour, to talk about his experiences down to Jacksonville, Alabama, to check out these Gamecocks and that fan experience. So with no further ado, let me hop on over and give you that interview. Joining us on the college football experience, Jacksonville State Gamecocks 2023 season preview episode is my friend Michael Barker, aka College Football Campus Tour on Twitter. Yes, at CFB Campus Tour. If you don't know Michael, he goes to like 5, 6, 7 games a week, and he documented all on social media via his Twitter account. And it's actually one of the best follows you could do if you're a college football fan, because you're not only get an awesome photo, you'll get the history of the stadium, and it's just a really cool follow. If you love college football, you got to follow it. Michael, I appreciate you hopping on the show and talking a little Burgess-Snow Field here at JSU Stadium.
Yeah, well, thank you for having me. This is an exciting time for them. They're jumping up to FBS for the first year, so looking forward to talking about Jacksonville State.
Yeah, they hire Rich Rodriguez, who's a proven winner. I think there's a lot of excitement. I remember they beat Florida State not that far back on a crazy Hail Mary. And I mean, I just feel like if you're a Jacksonville State fan, you got to like what's going on here, because you got a brand. I don't know. What's the history on the stadium? How old is the stadium?
So the stadium was built in 1947, and the original capacity was 5,000. Over the years, it's expanded to its current capacity of 24,000. They were a power in the FCS in the 2010s, went to the FCS championship in 2016 against North Dakota State. And like you said, they hired Rich Rodriguez. There's a murderer's row of coaches in the Sun Belt. You got Butch Jones at Arkansas State. You got Terry Bowden down at ULM, not to mention the ones that are already at the established schools. So you need a big-time coach to compete there. And the stadium is actually undergoing a big renovation. It will be under construction during the 2023 season. But what they did is they knocked down the building that was in one of the end zones, and they're building a huge football operations center, have luxury suites on top of it. And there are 2 super luxury suites that will have a deck that people can go out and watch the game, have a drink, and go back and enjoy the amenities in the suites. So it will, like I said, it will be under construction in 2023, but next year it should be ready to go.
Heck yeah, that's what I'm talking about, man. I got to get out there. What games did you go see there?
So I went there in the spring FCS season of 2021. So we know that during COVID, the FCS, they pushed their season back to the spring to try to get more teams out there. And they ended up fielding, I would say like 70% of the teams played. The Ohio Valley Conference played all Sunday games. So, we got no NFL, nothing. They dominate the channel. And I went to the season opener against Tennessee Tech. They beat them 27-10. And it was fun, obviously reduced crowd with COVID. They do have, as part of the new look Conference USA, they're playing a bunch of Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday games. So they have a Wednesday game October 10th, and I'm going to go back out there and check it out. So, you get the FCS experience during COVID. You don't think it's going to be the same as the FBS game during the CUSA weeknight game. So I'm looking forward to going out to Jacksonville in October.
There you go. October 10th. Is that what you said? October 10th?
October 10th.
Folks, if you're out there and you see Michael Barker, hit him up. Come on. Look, the guy's traveling all over the country attending football games. I'd love to get to Burgess-Snow Field at some point. Michael, I appreciate you hopping on the show. And folks, everyone give him a follow on Twitter at CFB Campus Tour. You won't be disappointed. I can assure you that. And maybe one day I'll see you at JSU Stadium, Michael.
Yeah, you can't get enough football in Alabama. So we're happy to have another one in FBS, and hopefully I can see you there in the future.
There we go, brother. Take care and thank you. That was Michael Barker talking a little JSU football and that experience. Patty, we got to get down there for a game.
I do like that. I mean, that stadium looks like a big house.
I know.
On the side.
It's like, great. It's great. I like it.
There should be more stadiums that look like big. I mean, the big house itself doesn't look like house. This is the little house. It's an actual house.
The little house. So Rich Rod went from the big house to the little house. That's what he's saying. Folks, we're both on the over with the Gamecocks. We like it a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Just saying. Get on over there.
Yeah.
Bet it. All right, folks. Subscribe to the College Football Experience, because not only are we breaking down all 133 teams, the solo podcast like we do each and every year, but because we talk college football year round. Actually, I would say that I've never heard any college football podcast go as deep as we do.
Hello.
So let's go. All right. Subscribe, tell a friend. Also check out the FCS college football experience and the college basketball and college baseball experience. We come together as one on YouTube, youtube.com/the college experience. Also check out the Sports Gambling Podcast. We just had an interview with Joe Theismann and Carson Steele, the starting running back for the UCLA Bruins. Got Phil Steele coming soon. So check out all of those episodes. And folks, get the SGPN app for free in the App Store and Google Play Store. And come talk Jacksonville State football with us in the Discord. A lot of weekday games this year. It's always great. SportsGamblingPodcast.com/Discord. All right. This is the college football experience, Jacksonville State Gamecock style. You better start thinking about yours. And we out of here.
We can really run and shoot, and you know what you got.